Good morning, guys. Just here at Stanimals, watching some TV. This is the couch where I slept. Very uncomfortable. This is my stuff over here. Just ran into other 3 Nobos yesterday. The UVA group, Boomerang, Pickles, and Stitch. Yeah. A lot of section hikers today. They all left. I'm over here by myself. Mighty Mouse left, and Big Rig left. Yep. Alright, guys, setting some winter stuff home. My Patagonia R1. I looked at some of the weather conditions up ahead of me, like some of the towns. Every 100 miles it looks like it's gonna be 40s at nighttime. I may switch up my sleeping bag. It does weigh a lot, so yeah, for sure. I'm sending home R1, pair of gloves, darn tough socks, they're starting to rip, and my Nike leggings and my Carhartt's hat. Guess what? I'm doing my first work for stay. I don't even need it, but I might not even stay. But yeah, I just wanted to help out, you know. It's simple. It was just making, I think, just doing the sheets, but I just made the beds to make it easier for them. Just change out a few garbage bags, you know. Pretty easy stuff. Doing the dishes. I was already doing the dishes too. That's so funny. But yeah, that's like the easiest money I made. 30 bucks an hour. Holy cow. Alright, guys, about to head out. A supporter of mine just asked me if I need anything, so I'm about to go to the local outfitter, see if I could buy a quilt, try to really lower my pack weight. So I'm gonna just see how much and what they're talking about. But also, someone came by to pick up some shoes here, Hoka's, and guess who it was? I ran into him on my first day. So crazy. I guess he was hiking with Boomerang, Stitch, and Julia. Dang, I forgot her show name right now. I can't think of it. But yeah, so crazy that I ran into him. His trail name's Tumbelina, because I guess he took a fall, but he was hiking with them, I guess. But it's so crazy that he just came here, and like I didn't even recognize him at first. So crazy. But yeah, he's in my first video. He was in the red. I was asking him about Blood Mountain, and he was telling me about Blood Mountain, how cold it is up there. You know, so crazy that, you know, we saw each other again. My first day I saw him, it just brings me back. Crazy, man. That was a trip down memory lane for sure. But yeah, crazy. Yep. But yeah, I'm just waiting for him. The beds are all made. Hey, what's going on, everybody? He just got the Stanimals, just got driven all the way to this Outfitters, you know, real good character. He was definitely looking out. Why don't you introduce yourself while he's tying his shoes?
Hey, what's up? My name is James.
Yeah.
Just been following Not Today on YouTube for a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah, awesome, man. And how long you been hiking for?
I've been hiking probably 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years? What made you get into hiking?
Just needed a breath of fresh air in life, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Mountains definitely provide that. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, just got into it, got hooked.
Yeah.
So,
What's been your favorite section so far?
I just hiked in Virginia.
Hiked in Virginia?
And, I love the Triple Crown. That's my favorite part.
The Triple Crown, right? Those are some sick views up there, especially Tinker Cliffs. A lot of people would be sleeping on Tinker Cliffs,
Exactly.
right?
That's the underrated one. People don't sleep on it. So.
Yeah, man. Where you from?
I'm from Lynchburg.
You're from Lynchburg?
So not too far from here.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome, man. You want to shout out anybody?
Shout out you. You're awesome.
Yeah,
good.
Cool.
Just like behind the camera.
Yeah.
Just the whole AT community, man. Good
awesome.
people out here.
Awesome. Any advice to any hikers out there that you just personally just want to give out?
Nah, I need advice, man.
You need
Give me
advice.
You're the hiker. You're the real hiker.
All right,
What's
if I were to give any advice to people, I would say just enjoy it. Honestly, don't rush. the miles will come, and just slow miles and just good meeting people is the best advice I could do, as I could give.
Yeah, be in the moment, be present.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Whatever
Hell
ups and
yeah.
downs, man. Enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure, man. I personally just want to say thank you, man. You just came all the way out here just to help me out. You know, drove me all the way to the outfitter. Really do appreciate that.
Cool.
It's crazy to know that the support that I've been given out here, and it's just cool. And I know you're looking forward to helping out other hikers too, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yes.
So hit me up if you're out there.
All right, yo, this is James, man. We need to come up a trail name for him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
I gotta earn it. I feel like I gotta go on the trail and earn it, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, man. Peace.
Hey.
All right, guys. Look at this beautiful day. Woo. Shout out to James for picking me up, driving me to the local outfitters. I needed to get some KT tape, but also my sleeping bag. I just bought a big Agnes ultralight sleeping bag, but it's a 66 degree bag. Yeah, it cost me like $1.50, but that's fine, because I'm realizing that it's starting to get really hot out, so I'm gonna just bring it along with me and just test it out to see what kind of to see how it feels within like the 44 degree weather, you know, because I'd be sweating in my mummy bag, and my mummy bag is rated at 0 to -15, so I definitely need to I could save some weight on that. Big Agnes only weighs like a pound, and this mummy bag that I have weighs like 2.7, 2.8. So yeah, definitely see some weight there. All right. Hey everybody, finally he's here, the man and only Big Rig. Oh man. All right, introduce yourself, Big Rig.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Big Rig, aka Joe from Texas, and I think I've officially adopted Not Today as my little brother and stuff, so, and vice versa, Big Brother. So
hell yeah, the big broski. All right, let's start off with, how did you get your trail name?
woo, Big Rig.
Big Rig.
Much like a semi going up hills, I can be slow as hell, and then going down sometimes way too fast, you know, without applying the brakes. But
Yeah.
no, it's gotten better. So, you know, that was early on, and you know, now 5 weeks into it, getting a little faster up the hills, but yeah, Big Rig still fits.
Yeah, for sure. And when did you start? When did you start the trail?
I started on 7 March and joined up with a good friend of mine who got off the trail in Irwin, Tennessee last year after he had started down in Georgia. So essentially I'm going to be a northbound flip-flopper. So once I get up to Katahdin, then I got to head back down and get to Irwin, Tennessee, and then make the trek down to Georgia.
Wait, but you also did that last year as well, correct?
No, that was just them. So he and his trail buddy from last year, they both made it up to Irwin.
Yeah.
So that's where they started off, and it just happened that I was able to join them this year. So I was like, great. So I started there, but now that just means that once I get to Katahdin, it'll be kind of bittersweet, because I'll be like, yeah, Katahdin. And I'll be like, oh, I still got 344 miles to go.
No, but that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you were part of the what group?
Oh yeah. The old retired guys, Team Old Retired Guys, otherwise known as
Old Retired
Team
Guys.
Orgies. Yeah.
Team Orgies, yo.
Yeah,
oh man, that's so cool.
Unfortunately, you know, my real good friend, he had to get off trail here for a little bit and stuff. He got injured, but he's recuperating right now back home and doing some physical therapy. And
yeah, for
can't
sure.
wait to get back out here, and
Yeah.
our other member is somewhere off in the woods, but I know he's making good progress and stuff too. So
yeah, shout out
you
to
know
them.
that you always wind up bouncing into, you know, your friends and
Yeah.
your family and stuff along the way. So
And honestly, that's so cool. I remember the second time I saw you guys was over in Marion, near Partnership Shelter.
That's right.
Carrie was just like, oh, we're picking 3 people up. As soon as I saw you guys, I just jumped out like, yeah, you just came over, gave me a big embrace.
Yeah,
like,
man.
wow, you guys are just like big brothers, man, especially you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then we saw each other here at Stanimals in
Yeah.
Glasgow, and
Yeah.
It's always like that. It just feels like a little reunion, you know, especially when you've been off by yourself for, you know, a week or a couple weeks and stuff, and all of a sudden you see somebody that you like, that you know, and you're like, oh, you
yeah.
know, so, no, it's great.
What would you say it was your biggest obstacle on the trail so far?
I think it comes in phases for me anyway. The physical part is obviously first for most people, unless you just happen to show up to the trail and you're already really physically fit.
Yeah, super.
So like, you know, for me it was having to get used to the climbing and everything else. And
Yeah.
like, the pain of it, you know, and then trying to knock out bigger miles.
For sure.
And then once that kind of started to lessen, you know, like around week 3 or so, you start kind of getting your trail legs.
Yeah.
And for me, it becomes more the mental game.
Everyone talks about the mental.
Yeah, like the past, I would say the past probably week to maybe 10 days or so, like that's where all of a sudden the pain isn't in your mind as much. So then you're out there on the trail, and what are you doing? You got all those hours, and you're just sitting there thinking, you're in your head, and it's a good thing though. I mean, it's I think it's no more different than it being, you know, cleansing for you to get out here, you know, dropping weight, getting in shape and stuff on the trail. It's the same thing getting inside your head, you know, because sometimes there's just things that maybe you've been putting off for years and things that have been bothering you, or you just kind of stick deep down inside. And when you're out here, I mean, you know the deal. It's like you got a lot of times nobody else to talk to but yourself, and so you're in your head a lot, and you gotta work through some stuff, you know, but that's all part of the growth, right? I mean,
for sure.
Nothing ever is going to come from you not exploring things and having to kind of put in the work and maybe go through a little bit of pain to get there. But if you put in that work and you kind of, you know, walk through some things that maybe you've been putting off and stuff, inevitably, you know, you're going to come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah,
So.
huge stress reliever right there.
Yeah.
For sure. What's the most beneficial or what's the most positive thing that you think came out of the trail so far for you, perspective wise?
I would say the most beneficial thing so far is just learning to truly be in touch with myself on all levels. You know, and that starts from the very physical. Like it's shocking how you have to really get in tune with, like, okay, you're paying attention to the littlest things that you got to like feel in your feet, in your ankles, in your calves, in your legs, and you know, everything. You got to be in tune with that, and until you get in tune with it, you know, you kind of like, you can keep hurting yourself or otherwise, but once you start paying attention to it, once you start addressing things, once you start to really understand your body, you know, it gives you that greater overall, like, you feel empowered because you're like, oh, I get it now. Like, there are just certain things that you get about your body, and you start to know like how to really use your body to its best purpose. And that's kind of how I feel inevitably. Hopefully that's what I'll get inside, you know, emotionally, spiritually, and stuff. Just that same kind of quest to where like you really start getting in touch with yourself. No different than somebody who practices meditation or yoga and things, to where they really start to center themselves and understand what they're feeling, why they're feeling it, you know, and when you're having just one of those days, which all of us do, right, on the trail, you have those days where you're like, oh, once you start to like really hone in on that and pay attention to what's causing this, what's triggering this, why am I running from this, why am I angry about this, you know, once you start to actually have to focus on that, no different than you did your body, you know, you're going to become stronger. You're going to start to understand yourself better, your triggers better, different things, different situations that maybe you've been in the past that you just never could put, you know, one and one together, but now like it'll make more sense. Plus, I mean, just, you know what, overall the best thing is just meeting different people from all walks of life.
For
you
sure.
know, when we sat down and talked for the very first time back at the station, you know, well over a month ago, it's like it was fascinating to me, just because that was kind of my first interaction then with more people than just the two people I'd been with for like 4 days at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. You'd had no prior hiking experience, you know. I mean, it was something that was within you to do, and I found that fascinating. You know, like most people would never ever even attempt to do something like that. So like, I just like meeting, you know, and I'm sure you do too, all these different people, and just getting their backgrounds and you know, understanding that there's so much more that's common within all of us than there is different. You know, you just got to be able and be willing to sit down and talk to somebody that you might ordinarily not just sit down and talk with, whether they be a lot older or a lot younger than you, or you know what I mean, or different backgrounds, whatever. Like, just get to know people.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
a lost art, you know. It's a lost art in our country right now, and so this to me is very helpful. You know?
I know. I'm starting to realize that everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
You know, that everybody has a reason why they're out here. You know, and it's just so humbling to know. Yeah, why don't you tell them, what did you used to do before this? Your occupation?
Yeah, I'm retired Army, and yeah, so pretty much my whole life, it was you know, that military life, and
right.
So you know, there's that bond and that brotherhood and sisterhood of being in the military and stuff. But once you leave,
yeah,
that can be a little jarring for folks. And so, as you probably realize, you come across a lot of veterans and stuff that are out here on the trail. I think probably trying to kind of find themselves, try to center themselves, figure out who they are now. Because you know, when you've devoted most of your adult life to that lifestyle, and all of a sudden you're not in it anymore, that can be a little bit scary, you know, because that's kind of what you're used to, what you're accustomed to.
Yeah.
And as you know, there aren't a lot of us that like to just constantly put ourselves in situations that we're uncomfortable in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, this is definitely one of those things that you got to come out here and like, sure, you could probably go the whole AT and not talk to anybody and be kind of standoffish and not want to, you know, but how much less of an experience would that be?
Yeah,
you know, if you spent 5-6 months of your life out here and you didn't ever take the time to just get to know somebody, you know, because you'll find that, like I said, I think we'd find that we have so many more things in common with one another. You know, get away from your phones, get away from your tablets, get away from the TV, get away from the news, all these different things.
Yeah.
And realize that for all that junk, like, there's so much more that just intrinsically is in each and every one of us as human beings.
And there's so much good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so much good in the bad. Yeah. And I'm starting to realize that out here. I don't know what the military is like, but I bet that the camaraderie out here could be a little bit similar, because we're all just going through the same situations, I call it the suck, because we're all just going through the rain, the mountains, the hills, everything, you know?
Embrace the suck. Yeah, it's a very common military phrase across the board, whether it's Army or whoever, you know, but so, because you're all going through that same kind of shared experience of like, oh, this kind of hurts, or, oh, you know, I'm having a terrible day, and it's wonderful to be able to just talk to people and realize, oh, okay, well, you're going through that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to lift each other up. And how many times have you just been having one of those days, and somehow, some way, the trail provides, and whether it's a fellow hiker or trail angel or somebody else just does something nice for you, and you just realize, like, man, when you put out good stuff into the universe, a lot of times it's going to reciprocate, you know, and come back to you. You know, and that's what I would hope that people would ever get when they come out here, is just realizing that, you know, what you focus on determines what you become. And if you focus on just being a positive person, being a loving person, compassionate person, and truly caring about other people and not expecting something in return, then I think a lot of times you're going to get that in return.
Right.
Whereas if you focus on being negative, or all the junk that's out there that, you know, I think it's too easy for all of us to get sucked into, and like, and you're just angry all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be what you become.
Exactly.
And a lot of time that's going to just keep feeding that, and then you're going to get that return. So, you know, the choice is yours. Is that cup going to be half empty, or is it going to be half full? You know, and we each and every one of us have that choice.
Yeah, you guys hear that, yo? He's just so positive, like a big brother. I just can't understand it, yo. Oh man, what do I have to say? If you want to thank anybody, who would you like to thank right now?
I want to thank you know, my family and friends, and most definitely, I mean, I've got a lot of, you know, friends, you know, social media and otherwise, that have been, you know, very positive, and I've been trying to share with them and stuff similar to you, but just, you know, like Facebook or whatever, and they've been sending out a lot of positivity and love and encouragement and stuff.
Right.
And then my family for just allowing me to do this, you know, because that's no little thing.
Yeah.
To just say, like, okay, well, Daddy's gonna be gone for 5 months. That breaks my heart every time I sit there and think, like, but that's why I don't want to quit, because I want my children to be proud of their dad, and to say, like, oh man, he did it, you know, because like, they're sacrificing right now just so I can be here. So what better way to honor that than to actually complete this very monumental thing, this task that is something I wanted to do, and that also I know is going to make me a better person for them.
For
Because
sure, bro.
by becoming a better me, I should be an even better father for them. You know? And they know that I love them with all my heart and stuff. And so I just hope that this experience helps me to, you know, to somehow manifest to even be a better dad for them, you know, through all the lessons.
Whoa, that's deep, bro. That is super deep. And if you were to give any advice to any future thru hikers, what would it be, man?
Future thru hikers. First and foremost, the physical aspect. Seriously, get the pack that you're gonna wear, get the shoes that you're gonna wear. Everything else you can kind of get even leading up to, you know, but get the pack and the shoes that you think you're gonna wear and start, you know, putting stuff in it and try and accumulate and go out there and hike, and I mean hike and do some elevation and all, you know, distance, and really like put in some hours. Because you're gonna figure out real quick what works, what doesn't work. Do I actually like this pack? Do I actually like my shoes? Because I think those are two of the most critical things from my perspective when you're out there. Everything else can kind of be replaced easily, but like that pack and those shoes, you know, it's gonna help get you where you're going. And you gotta train, you know, you can't, I think there are very few people that probably just come out here and didn't do anything leading up to it. That, you know, I'd say the percentages are a lot smaller that they make it all the way, because it's rough, it's hard on your body, and you know, and then it gets into the mental aspect. So other than that, there's a real good book out there called Appalachian Trials, that really talks about, you need to understand why you're doing this. Don't just, like, if you don't have a real good reason, you'll find out real quick. And that's by and large why a lot of the people are leaving the trail within the first 30 days, because they didn't really have a solid reason inside why they wanted to do it. Or it just wasn't important enough that when the going got tough, that they actually then left, you know, or that, you know, that was good enough for them to stay on trail. So
that's crazy. What is that? What is it? I'm sorry.
Dessert. Charlie's got dessert.
That's Charlie. Charlie's got dessert. Say hi, Charlie.
It's dessert time, peach cobbler. Come on in.
Well, I mean, you know, on that note, great interview, but come on. I mean, they make, you know, here at Stanimals, every night they're making, you know, in Glasgow, they're making homemade dessert and stuff. So, come on, you can't beat that. So, and oh, by the way, for all you tough guys and tough girls out there that, you know, get on the trail and are like, oh, I'm not staying in a hostel, or oh, I'll never slack pack, or this or that. Stop with that noise. Enjoy your hike. Be true to you. This is not a tough man or tough woman contest. This is not a let's see who can endure the most pain contest. This could be an adventure of your lifetime. Don't waste it by trying to be or live up to something else that somebody else wants you to be out here. This is your life. You live it. Hike your own hike. It's not just a euphemism. Do it. You can make this thing as painful and as miserable, or as happy and pleasant and just a fantastic time that you'll never forget as you want. The choice is yours. So choose to pull off the road. And if somebody says, man, you should come stay at this hostel, they make bomb desserts like every night, you should come check it out. Go check it out. What do you got to lose? You know, in the end, if you're like, I don't like hostels, great. Well, you had a great dessert and you met some interesting people. You know, and then you can go back out in the woods and hang out with the ticks and, you know, go to all the shelters and cram in there and stuff. So
I'm starting to realize that it's all about the people, man, the community around it. And it's just been so humbling to know that everyone is just a part of this. Everyone's just so kind, honestly. And I just personally want to say, Big Rig, I mean, it's just been an honor meeting you. You're a character itself. I just love running into you because you just have a big, heavy heart. I just want to say thank you for your service. You know, you did sacrifice a lot. I feel like, I'll say it over and over again, I feel like a lot of people just don't take the time out of their lives to just actually think about what we have in this country and what we don't have. So I just want to say thank you for that. And Big Rig, every single time I see you, I gotta give you a hug. So y'all want to see a hug? This is a bro hug right
Bro
here.
hug.
All right, now let's go eat. Gotta go eat.
Peace.